So yesterday, we actually missed some of the changes, and that is a massive deadlock buff, because if we come here, we can see that the first thing is, if you haven't seen this, is that the barrier mesh is now a lot bigger than it was, as you can see. It's now 10 meters from, one side to the center, whereas before, I think it was like 5, maybe 6 instead. So that obviously is a pretty big change. And the reason that they changed this, of course, is because the ability, whether you thought it was good or not, it didn't really matter. The thing is, when you use this, right, it's not like a sage wall. You are throwing this out, and normally you're throwing it out when there's opponents nearby, right? So you're in a quick panic and you're just throwing it out. And the problem with just throwing it out is that in some instances, not necessarily this one that I've just given you, but in some instances you would miss, and then, it wouldn't actually be a solid barrier, and you'd just be able to kind of walk around it and walk past it kind of like this, and, still be on your merry way, right? That was a big problem with the barrier mesh. And the thing is, as you've just seen, in some instances around certain parts of maps and whatever, it still will be a problem. Even though the, arms are really long, you still will run into geometry like this potentially, right, where it could still be a problem in certain instances. But of course, it just means that the chances of that being the case are a lot lower, right? That if you can get it right, sometimes you still will hit the walls and they won't be that long, but at other times they will be very long, right? And it will just mean that it's much more reliable in terms of when you're actually using it, in terms of actually stopping people from getting through. So, good change, really like the change. I think it helps a lot, and obviously in certain maps, in certain situations, it could be very useful. There are other changes as well, though. If we turn on the bots just here and have them strafe like they are, you can also see that the sonic sensor now is a lot quicker in terms of its stun, right? It goes off much quicker from like when it actually, detects the movement to actually going off and getting the stun. It is a lot quicker than it used to be, right? Which is a massive, big, giga, cool, thank God, change. So yeah, really happy with that one as well. And, well, the thing is, it was actually initially reported that, oh, Deadlock is getting a buff, and it's that you can recall the sonic sensors. And everyone was like, oh my God, isn't that, who cares, right? Who cares that you can pick these up? And that's kind of true, right? It is a buff, right? It does help somewhat. And one thing I noticed is you can pick this thing up from a long way away, right? I mean, look at how far I can still pick this thing up from. How far is that? 27 meters. I can still pick this thing up from. So you can really pick it up from a long way away. But of course, there's a question that you all really want to know, and that is Deadlock actually good enough to see actual play? And there's two sides to that question, as there is with every agent, right? Where you've got ranked and pro play. And I do think that, with these changes, the Deadlock in ranked could actually be pretty decent, right? In ranked, you tend to get a lot of fast rounds, and you get a lot of, just running it down. And now you have to look at Deadlock's kit and be like, okay, with the wall, with the sonic sensors, going off a lot quicker, with the GravNet, she's very good at stopping fast plays. She's also good at post plants, right? That the stun, when you try and defuse the spike, will go off and it'll annoy you, right? And it'll go off much quicker than it did before, so it'll be harder to avoid. That she will be, I think, not that bad in ranked, to be honest. And the ult can get kills, and that's always good. So yeah, I think in ranked, Deadlock could be good. The problem that Deadlock, of course, has in pro play is that, teams are much more patient, right? Like a pro team is much more patient, and they will just bait out the Deadlock, this, and then it'll be like, well, we'll just wait, right? We'll just go off and explore elsewhere on the map, and we'll do other things, right? And we won't necessarily care about it. The thing is, I have come to Icebox because, well, a part of me was thinking, what if you played Deadlock on Icebox as a pro team? And in the coming days, I'll do videos about like what agents got better on Lotus, and maybe what the meta will be on Icebox and stuff. But I just want to bring up, like, imagine if you did this kind of wall. By the way, defending B, I was right when I first saw it. Like, I have no idea. I mean, particularly when, if I just quickly show you Viper, like, particularly when you use Viper and, like, do the, like, just like a classic Viper wall just from anywhere here, really, just towards the site. You don't even have to be that precise with it. I don't know how you defend this, right? That when you put up this wall and you can just sneak up here as the attackers, like, I don't know what they want the defenders to do here, right? Even if you're on top of this box and, like, sniping down here, you can't see above this wall. Right, you can't see above this. Like, they can sneak out through here, and then it's like, well, you got what? You're gonna worry about this and this? Like, how do you up? Are you gonna reliably be able to up all of that? Probably not. I don't know what they want to do on B, right? So that's where Deadlock comes in. and you play Deadlock instead, right? And I don't know if that's a good answer or not, but maybe it's one answer, right? That you could, you know, be back here as Deadlock, and if you wanted to stall, you know, a fast rush, or if you wanted to, you know, make sure they weren't coming, you know, you just jump peek here, and then you just put down a wall like so. Again, you do have to be precise with this, but hey, look, you know, this would stop. You know, if you want to come this way, you have to destroy that one. You know, if you want to come this way, you got to destroy that, and then if you want to get to yellow at all, you have to destroy one of these two as well, right? So you know, and you will want to, you know, make sure that people aren't here, that they can't just focus, you know, solely on one side. So you have to kind of destroy two, which is good. So yeah, maybe this kind of thing, you know, could be okay, right? Maybe it could be okay, and you know, maybe you could have sonic sensors, you know, for the spike, because again, there's no way you're actually defending this site. It's not going to be easy. So you know, you just wait for the spike plant. They get stunned. You then can spam them a bit easier, right? Like those kind of things. I don't know, right? I'm just throwing stuff out there. You know, you don't really need a duelist on this map. Maybe there is a space for something kind of crazy like a Deadlock, right? Same kind of thing coming towards A. I know there's other ways in, but if you put one, you know, somewhere around here, something like that, right? That again, they would have to destroy multiple to get through. You know, something like this could be okay, right? You can't get through there. Like, who knows, right? That maybe this could be the way, right? And you just play for, you know, the stuns back here and stuff, you know, as people are scaling up the site. Because again, it's going to be very difficult, as we all know on Icebox, to actually hold the site. But doing something like this, who knows? That could actually be, you know, fairly decent, right? That this, you know, this sort of thing could be okay. Where, yeah, they're having, I mean, this one. No, they can't crouch under it. Yeah, they'd have to destroy, you know, multiple, destroy this first one, maybe destroy that, maybe destroy three. That stuff like that could be okay. And the same for attack side, right? That you can take the site fairly easy. So maybe you can, you know, I don't know, do a wall, something like this, right? And again, same sort of thing where if you want to go this way, you got to destroy 1 and 2, right? If you want to come this way, you got to destroy, well, I guess just 1. But, you know, something like that could be okay. In fact, actually, could you put this? Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, yes, I managed it. We did it. We found the perfect Deadlock wall. Here it is. You can't get through this. You have to destroy this one. You can't get through there. You have to destroy that one. You have to destroy this. And, oh, if you want to carry on towards, like, where the spike would be planted, you have to destroy this too. So you basically just have to destroy the middle one. We found it, everyone. Here is the perfect Deadlock barrier for the attack side. So yeah, you can see there are some things, nice things that you can do with Deadlock. I still don't think that, you know, this will be enough to actually see, you know, Deadlock Pro play a lot, just because of the kind of agent that Deadlock is. But there is another change that we didn't know about as well, and that is here on Lotus, there is no B ult orb. It is gone. It does not exist. Here it's where it should be, but it is not there. Just to show you, the C one is still there, and the one towards A is still there as well, but there is no B ult orb here now on Lotus, and that I think is a good change as well, because to me, it was just too easy for the attackers to, you know, and you would commonly see it, right? Just farm this orb, come back, you know, farm this orb, and honestly, sometimes they would even come towards A. There was a kind of an interesting round in overtime, where MIBR in an overtime on Lotus farmed all 3 ult orbs on Killjoy and just got a Killjoy lockdown in overtime, right? And I think that's kind of a genius strategy, but it kind of goes to show, like, you know, that, yeah, that was a problem. And I think I prefer this. I think this is a good change. I like that. And some of you might be saying, you know, oh, I don't like that, whatever. I mean, but Haven has 3 sites and it's only got 2 orbs, so, you know, chill out.